With new players coming to City of Heroes and returning veterans finding out about the private servers, I want to go over the Defender. I'm Controlled Chaos, and in this video I'm going to do just that. I'm going to talk about the Defender. Now, your Defender archetype is a lot like a cleric. They do a lot of healing, a lot of buffing to keep the group alive, but are able to do some damage to help out in fights. First, I want to go over the pros. The pros are they have a great reason to be in groups. You can do a lot to help out by healing and buffing others. You can also do a good amount of debuffing of the enemies with the right power sets. So that's two good reasons there. A third is they're very versatile with the different power sets that you have options to for the different ways you buff and heal and things like that. It's really good, and they're diversified so much so that you can literally focus on just being a healer, literally focus on just being a buffer or debuffing capabilities, things like that. Now I want to go over the cons. There are only a few heals and buffs that will work on you. The major focus is healing and buffing of your allies, and your allies in the group are what keep you alive. So keeping them buffed and healed is very, very helpful. Now, as far as soloing, they're in the middle for soloing. And the reason being is they don't do a lot of damage, they don't have a lot of hit points and stuff like that. So they're not as tanky as a tank or a brute, but they can't put out as much damage as a blaster, a scrapper, or a stalker. However, they have more hit points than, let's say, a blaster or controller does. So they're in that middle ground area. Now, the third thing is you have to keep an eye on your teammates' health and buffs that you apply to them to keep them alive. So if you're the type of player that has trouble keeping an eye on your teammates, then a defender may not be the right choice for you, especially in fast-paced big battles. I know for myself, because of my eye disorder, I have trouble keeping track on stuff like that, and so I know I get yelled at a bit by players if I were to be a defender, which is why I don't play personally a lot of defenders. Now, the great thing is the City of Heroes player base mostly is friendly, so you're not going to get yelled at as much, which is really great. So I do every so often with people I know like to play a defender because I know I'm not going to get yelled at, whereas in other games they get really pissy if you don't heal them on time or buff them right away, things like that. So there's that. Now I want to go over the different types of play styles for the defender. You can be a healer. You can use empathy and just be healing and rezzing people. You can be a buffer. You can use ice domination and other powers like that to just buff your allies and make it so that they're more tankier. Then you have the debuffers, and the debuffers are like your time manipulation type characters and other types of characters that sort of manipulate and debuff the enemies. And then you have the mix. And the mix are things like your Dark Masma. Your Dark Masma, when you go to heal someone, you don't target your ally, you target the enemy, take the health from the enemy, and give it to your allies. Then there's other ones that like kinetics. Kinetics will take the strength from your enemy and give it to your allies. Take the speed from your enemy and give it to your allies. So you're slowing the enemy at the same time as you're speeding up the attack capabilities of your allies. And that's what the mixes do there. So there's a bunch of different play styles here, and the other thing I want to talk about is all of these buffs and heals and debuffs. They're all primary sets for your power sets of abilities. The secondary power sets for a defender is all ranged attacks, so you can stay back away from the fight, keeping yourself safe so that you can keep buffing and healing your allies. But you want to be careful with attacking and with the heals, because if you don't have a good enough tank or tank at all on your team, you can draw aggro onto yourself. So you want to be careful with that. I do want to mention one thing, and that is that Rebirth is having a costume contest on August 13th. That's a Saturday, and it is at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As you can see, it's showing up on the screen. It gives you the information, and you'll be able to go to their website and get more detailed information. So if you're interested in joining a costume contest, be sure to join Rebirth. I am going to be streaming the contest. I'm not going to be participating. I'm just going to be streaming and commenting on people's costumes. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it and it was helpful, please hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Have a great day.